Are you tired of being taken advantage of just because you're kind? In this video, we delve into why kindness can sometimes lead to disrespect and how the philosophy of Stoicism can help you navigate these situations. Lesson 1. Overfamiliarity breeds contempt. In life, people often misinterpret kindness. They see it as a sign to lower their respect. This stems from a fundamental truth: overfamiliarity breeds contempt. When you are consistently kind, others might start taking you for granted. Stoicism teaches us the importance of maintaining balance in relationships. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to live in harmony but not to dissolve ourselves into others' needs. Kindness should not mean sacrificing your dignity. When people sense that you are always available, they may lose the value they once placed on you. Stoics emphasize the need for boundaries. These boundaries protect your energy and self-respect. A kind heart should not be an invitation for disrespect. Seneca advises us to give generously, but only as much as our wisdom allows. He believed that blind generosity invites exploitation. When kindness becomes too familiar, it stops being special. Overfamiliarity leads to complacency. When people no longer see the effort behind your kindness, they undervalue it. You must remember that kindness does not require constant display. Epictetus teaches that we must focus on our actions, not others' perceptions. The wise person's kindness is purposeful and limited. This prevents others from becoming dependent or disrespectful. Being kind does not mean being overly accessible. If someone disrespects your kindness, the fault lies with their lack of understanding, not your virtue. Stoicism guides us to remain detached from the opinions of others. You can be kind while maintaining your space. Avoid over-explaining or justifying your actions. This preserves the respect others have for you. True kindness is not about always saying yes. It is about being wise enough to say no when needed. When your kindness becomes expected, people stop valuing it. Maintain a certain level of mystery. Keep some parts of your life private. Let your kindness surprise others rather than be something they rely on. In doing so, you cultivate both respect and balance. Lesson 2. Misinterpreted as weakness. Kindness, when misunderstood, is often seen as weakness. This is a misjudgment of character. In Stoicism, kindness is a strength. It comes from inner peace and self-control. A kind person must remain strong, even when others misinterpret their actions. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to do good regardless of how others perceive it. Weakness is the inability to stand firm in your values. Kindness is the opposite. It requires courage and wisdom. When people see consistent kindness, they may test your limits. They may push to see how far you will bend. Stoics teach us to remain unshaken. Epictetus advises us to focus on what we can control. We cannot control how others view our kindness. We can only control our response. Kindness should not mean tolerating disrespect. You must act with reason, not emotion. Do not confuse being kind with being passive. A Stoic remains firm but fair. If someone sees your kindness as weakness, that is their misunderstanding. Do not change your values to fit their perception. Kindness must have boundaries. Seneca said that generosity without wisdom is wasteful. Give when it aligns with your principles, not out of fear or obligation. When your actions are guided by virtue, others' judgments lose their power. A Stoic's kindness is deliberate and strong. It is not swayed by how others react. Your strength lies in your consistency. Stay kind, but do not allow anyone to take advantage of your nature. This balance requires practice and discipline. By staying true to your principles, you embody the Stoic ideal of inner strength. Kindness, when grounded in wisdom, becomes unshakable. It reflects your strength, not your weakness. Lesson 3. Creates unrealistic expectations. When you are kind, people may start expecting too much from you. This creates unrealistic expectations. Stoicism teaches us to temper expectations, both our own and others. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to act with purpose, not to please others. If your kindness becomes an obligation, it loses its value. Over time, people may expect you to always say yes. They might assume you have no limits. This leads to disappointment when you cannot meet their demands. Epictetus advises us to remain focused on our own actions. Do not allow others' expectations to control your behavior. Be kind, but do not overextend yourself. Setting boundaries is essential. Without them, your kindness can become a burden. Seneca teaches us that generosity should not harm the giver. When you give too much, you risk your own well-being. A Stoic values balance. You must protect your energy to continue being kind in the future. Do not feel guilty for saying no. Others may not understand your limits, but that is their concern. Focus on what aligns with your principles. Let your kindness be a choice, not a requirement. When you set realistic expectations, you prevent others from taking advantage of you. Kindness should be steady and measured. Avoid making promises you cannot keep. Do not let others' demands dictate your actions. By staying true to your values, you create healthy relationships. People will respect you more when they see your kindness is intentional, not automatic. Stoicism teaches us to act with reason, not emotion. When faced with unrealistic expectations, stay calm. Do not overreact or feel pressured. Kindness, when rooted in wisdom, remains firm. It does not waver under external pressure. Set clear boundaries and stay consistent. This ensures your kindness remains valuable and respected. Lesson 4. Lack of reciprocity. Kindness can lead to one-sided relationships. When you give without receiving, it creates imbalance. Stoicism teaches us to seek harmony in all things. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to act with justice and fairness. A relationship must have reciprocity to thrive. When you are always the giver, others may stop contributing. They may rely on your kindness without offering anything in return. This can leave you feeling drained. Epictetus teaches us to focus on our own actions. Do not expect anything in return. However, this does not mean accepting unfairness. Recognize when a relationship becomes unbalanced. Lack of reciprocity often stems from habit. When people become used to your kindness, they may stop putting in effort. This is not your fault. It is their failure to appreciate. Seneca advises us to give wisely. Do not invest your time and energy in those who do not value it. A Stoic's kindness is not limitless. It is guided by reason. To avoid one-sided relationships, communicate your needs. Be honest about your expectations. Do not assume others will understand your feelings. Stoicism values clarity and truth. When you speak openly, you prevent misunderstandings. This strengthens your relationships. Reciprocity is not about keeping score. It is about mutual respect and support. When a relationship lacks balance, address it calmly. Do not let resentment build. Stay true to your principles and act with integrity. If someone continues to take without giving, consider stepping back. A Stoic values their time and energy. Do not waste it on those who do not appreciate it. By fostering reciprocity, you create meaningful connections. Your kindness will be valued and respected. This aligns with the Stoic ideal of justice. Treat others fairly and expect the same in return. When you act with wisdom, your relationships will flourish. Lesson 5. Jealousy or insecurity. Kindness can sometimes provoke jealousy or insecurity in others. People may see your good nature and feel inadequate. Stoicism teaches us to remain detached from others' emotions. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to focus on our own actions, not how others react. Jealousy often arises from comparison. When people see your kindness, they may feel they lack the same virtue. This can lead to resentment. Epictetus advises us to understand, not judge, others' emotions. Recognize that jealousy is a reflection of their struggles, not your worth. Kindness can also highlight others' insecurities. When you act with generosity, it may make them feel small. This is not your intention, but it can happen. Seneca teaches us to remain humble. Do not let your kindness become a source of pride. Act with sincerity, not to gain admiration. When faced with jealousy or insecurity, stay calm. Do not react with anger or frustration. A Stoic approaches challenges with wisdom. Be patient and understanding. Do not let others' emotions affect your behavior. Continue being kind, but do not overcompensate. Jealousy and insecurity are not your responsibility. You cannot control how others feel. Focus on your own actions and intentions. Do not let negativity deter you from your path. Stoicism teaches us to remain steady in the face of adversity. Kindness, when rooted in virtue, is unshakable. By acting with humility and patience, you can diffuse jealousy. Show others that your kindness is genuine. Do not seek recognition or approval. When your actions are sincere, they reflect your inner strength. This inspires others to grow, rather than compete. Lesson 6. Lack of assertive boundaries. Without assertive boundaries, kindness can lead to disrespect. People may see your generosity as a sign of weakness. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-control and balance. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to act with reason, not emotion. Boundaries protect your well-being. They ensure your kindness is not exploited. Epictetus teaches us to focus on what we can control. You cannot control others' behavior, but you can set limits. Be clear and firm about what you will tolerate. This prevents misunderstandings and resentment. Assertive boundaries do not mean being unkind. They mean respecting yourself. Seneca advises us to give wisely. Do not let your generosity harm your peace. A Stoic's kindness is deliberate and measured. It is not given at the expense of their dignity. When setting boundaries, communicate clearly. Do not assume others will understand your needs. Speak calmly and confidently. This shows you value yourself. Stoicism teaches us to act with justice and fairness. Treat others kindly, but do not allow them to overstep. Boundaries create respect. When people see you value your time and energy, they will respect you more. Do not fear losing relationships. True connections will thrive with boundaries. Those who disrespect them were never worthy of your kindness. Practice saying no without guilt. This is a sign of strength, not selfishness. A Stoic remains true to their values, even when faced with criticism. By setting assertive boundaries, you protect your peace. This allows you to continue being kind without feeling drained. Lesson 7. Overemphasis on external validation. Kindness should not depend on others' approval. When you seek validation, it weakens your actions. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our inner virtues. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to act for the common good, not for recognition. When you seek external validation, you give others power over your happiness. This creates dependency. Epictetus advises us to find contentment within ourselves. Do not let others' opinions define your worth. A Stoic's kindness is guided by principle, not praise. Overemphasis on validation leads to disappointment. People may not appreciate your efforts. This does not mean your kindness is wasted. Seneca teaches us to act with integrity, regardless of the outcome. Do good for its own sake, not for recognition. Kindness rooted in external validation is fragile. It depends on others' approval, which is unpredictable. True kindness comes from inner strength. When you act from virtue, you remain steady. Others' reactions do not affect your peace. Practice self-reflection. Recognize when you seek validation. Redirect your focus to your principles. Stoicism encourages us to act with purpose. Let your kindness be a reflection of your values, not a bid for approval. By letting go of external validation, you free yourself. You become independent and strong. Your kindness gains depth and meaning. It reflects your inner peace, not your need for recognition. This aligns with the Stoic ideal of self-mastery. True kindness is its own reward. Stay consistent, and let your actions speak for themselves.